I do love a King James Bible, but I don't believe it's the only inspired translation available today. Some fanatical KJV-only Christians will distort the truth about modern translations in order to assert authority to the King James Bible.
Right, let's go, class. So the Holy Bible, Matthew chapter 18 and verse 11. Verse 12. Well, hold up. Where's verse 11? Yeah, so therefore this study will go into why men felt compelled, to remove words from the Bible. There were people that done this on purpose.
No, there wasn't. Not ever. There is absolutely no missing verses within the biblical text. It only appears that way. Allow me to prove it. Let's take manuscript P72 as an example, which is the first page of 2 Peter. Notice how the New Testament manuscripts do not contain written chapters or verses. Well, the very first King James Bible was published in the year of 1611, which already contained chapters and verses as a number reference system. And then some very significant and important events took place after the year of 1611, starting with the years 1809 to 1815, where the French general himself, known as Napoleon, took a collection of New Testament manuscripts known as Codex Vaticanus to Paris, where the first significant non-Vatican scholar known as Johann Leonard Hug examined it before it was returned to Rome. And then another significant discovery took place between the years 1844 and 1859, where a collection of New Testament manuscripts were discovered out in St. Catherine's Monastery located in Egypt, known as Codex Sinaiticus. These two collections of manuscripts, known as Codex Sinaiticus and Codex Vaticanus, are far older than the manuscripts used to translate the King James Bible. So when we check verses like Matthew chapter 18 verse 11 from actual study Bibles like this, Greek reverse into the Near New Testament, not only do these books give us a breakdown from English into Greek, but they also give us information about the New Testament manuscript evidence. Turning straight to chapter 18, checking verse 11, we can see with great clarity that verse 10 is on display along with verse 12, but not verse 11. So let's check the footnotes. It says, some manuscripts add verse 11, not remove verse 11, but add verse 11. Because the manuscripts they used to translate the King James Bible aren't as old as the manuscripts that they used to translate the modern Bibles. And because the King James Bible already had a number reference system containing chapters and verses before the earlier New Testament manuscripts got discovered, it only appears to have missing verses. There are no missing verses within the manuscript tradition of the New Testament, only added verses that we can specifically locate within the King James Bible, which was translated from far later manuscripts. And absolutely none of those added verses affect the core important teaching of salvation within Christianity. So regardless of someone reading from an ASV, an ESV, a KJV, a New KJV, you can still find salvation in Jesus Christ our Lord. God bless.